Hi, we are learning pearls, and this is a question on aptitude that I'll take up to explain our approach. First of all, a little bit about Learning Pearls. Learning Pearls is a company that has been started by professionals who have worked with companies like IBM, Accenture, Wipro, Infosys, and so on. We have had education from IITs and IIMs, and we would like to share our experience and knowledge with the students that are passing out of colleges. I'm Paramdeep, and I've done my engineering from IIT Delhi. I've done my MBA from IIM Indore, and I've worked with IBM, Accenture, and Standard Chartered. Now, first of all, we'll take a look at this question. This is a question on sequences. Now, there is no apparent sequence. So, for example, some of the numbers are repeating in this question. You can see that 6 and 6 have repeated. 12 and 12 have repeated. 18 and 18 have repeated. But then again, 3, 2, 24, 28 haven't repeated. So, there is no apparent sequence as such. Now, to tackle a question on sequences, our suggestion is that you learn some of the sequences by heart. So, for example, you should ideally learn square of natural numbers. Okay, it's very easy to remember. Similarly, cubes of natural numbers are easy to remember. 1, 8, 27, 125, and so on. Now, the typical questions on sequences are not so simple. So, for example, you would not get a simple natural number. So, you would not get a counting thing. Nor would companies ask you questions on simple, let us say, alternate numbers, even or odd numbers. So, they would typically look for patterns in numbers. Typically, one more pattern that you can remember, in case you can remember, is squares of numbers plus 1, squares of numbers plus 2, squares of numbers minus 1, minus 2, letters plus minus 1, and so on. Now, obviously, it would depend on your memory and how much you can remember. Obviously, the more you can, the better you would be able to solve these questions. Is that okay? Now, the other approach, in case you don't want to remember these numbers, is you could draw this as in this table at the time you are attempting the question. So, for example, let us say that you want to try out sequences of natural numbers, and just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, and now you can draw a table. So, for example, you can draw a table of plus minus on alternating plus and minus numbers. Is that okay? So, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5, and so on. This is one sequence that you would get. Is that okay? Similarly, you can get sequences for squares of numbers and so on. Obviously, you cannot remember everything. So, but these are the common sequences that might be asked. So, it is better to remember these sequences. Now, let us take a look at the question that we are trying to attempt. Okay, this is the question. Is that okay? Now, there doesn't seem to be any sequence matching these squares or cubes of numbers as well. So, let us try to write some prime numbers. Is that okay? So, prime numbers would be basically 2, 3, 5, 7. 9 is not a prime number. 11, 13, and so on. Now, just try to add 1 and subtract 1. You would get 3, 2. Then you would get add 1 is 6, subtract 1 is 6, and so on. You can see that these numbers are essentially prime numbers plus and minus 1, alternating plus and minus 1. Now, obviously, the more you have tried the questions on sequences, the better you would be able to do this question. Okay. So, next number would be essentially, is try it out. Is that okay? This is 23 plus 1. Is that okay? Is that okay? Then this is 29 minus 1. The next number would be 31 plus 1. So, 32 is the right answer in this case. Is that okay? So, we obviously have our own methodology and approach to solve these questions. Now, most of the people working with our organization, not all of the people working with our organization have done the studies from IITs and IIMs and have actually cracked these questions. Is that okay? So, we would give you an approach to solve these questions, which you can use to crack the questions in the examination. These are the websites where you can probably contact us, or you can contact me on my personal email ID, that's Paramdeep eneev.com. So please feel free to write a mail to me or call me on my telephone number to discuss this further. Thank you.